all aware of all the layoffs that have happened recently, and my story is a little different. I'm working for a company called EventVue, and we're fortunate to be growing, and we've been hiring recently. So the last couple of months, I've gotten the privilege to learn a little bit about hiring. The main thing I've learned is that hiring is hard. It's hard to find, even with a lot of people out there. It's hard to find the right people. A lot of it boils down to finding smart people who can get stuff done. And this is a lot of the advice you'll hear from a lot of people is this. And both parts of that are really important because there's a lot of brilliant people out there who really can't get anything out the door. The part I really struggle with is how do you convince that person who's making 6 figures at Google to quit his job and to move to Boulder to work for a startup he's never heard of before? And so for advice, I turned to one of the greatest inspirational leaders of all time. Remember his speech, Sons of Scotland, I am William Wallace.
William Wallace is 7 foot tall.
Yes, I've heard. And he kills men by the hundreds. And if he were here, he'd consume the English with bolts of lightning from his eyes and fireballs from his arse. I am William Wallace, and I see a whole army of my countrymen standing here in defiance of tyranny. You are come here as free men, and free men you are. What will you do without freedom? Well, what William Wallace did here is he communicated a compelling vision to go out and to join him. And that is exactly what you need to do when you're out there hiring people to come join you at your startup. It turns out the answer to how was your day really matters. I mean, how was it? How was your day? How was your day?
I did a lot of productive things.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, recent poll said 87% of Americans hate their jobs. I guess the rest are unemployed. You have a huge advantage if you can just create an environment where employees enjoy coming to work. Remember, appreciation is the best motivation. A lot of times, just creating an environment where people enjoy getting up and coming to work in the morning and they feel appreciated for the work that they're doing. Sometimes the smallest things that you can do will go the longest way. Because let's face it, you don't want to compete on price. There will always be a better funded startup in town that can pay better salaries than you can. So don't compete on price, compete on vision. Cool thing about this is a lot of times the best people will come to you. You remember the beginning of Braveheart, the McDonald's show up. Yeah, we heard what was happening. We didn't want you Aladans thinking you could have your fun without us. And the best people can work anywhere they want. We just hired a guy named Steve. Steve is one of the best developers I know. He could get a job at any company that he wanted to. I asked him, hey, why did you come work at EventVue? He said 3 reasons. I liked the people, I believed in the vision, and I wanted to work somewhere where I could really have an impact. One important thing that I learned from William Wallace is to trust your gut. When you're sitting down, you're having the interview with someone, and their credentials check out, their recommendations check out, but something still doesn't feel right. And at that point, the best thing you can do, if you don't feel comfortable, if you can't get comfortable with it, the best thing you can do is say no. And that's a rule that we've set up at EventVue, and unfortunately we've had to learn that the hard way. If you're not sure, pass. Remember this guy? It's my island. These guys the Irishmen are the crazy people. They've got to be to work at your company. You want some of these guys working for you. And the real reason for that is these are people who really believe in what you're doing, and they're going to be there for you, and they're going to stick with you and be loyal when times get tough. So you want to find your Irishman and have him join your company. Internal competition is good. This is Hamish. He's William Wallace's friend. And this is what you want to do. You want to encourage internal competition in your company, and you want to find those people who are competitive and motivated and driven to go accomplish the task that you need to do. Now, the challenge with hiring the best people you can is that you've got to, it raises a bar for you, and you've got to stay on top of your game. Because remember, men don't follow titles, they follow courage. If you lead them to freedom, they'll follow you. Freedom from the cubicle, from the monotony of a 9-to-5 job. And if you lead them, if you want people to follow you, lead them to freedom. Thanks.